We want to introduce you to a new artwork by my wife and I that we just finished that we absolutely love, called Tibetan Skies. It is a reference and kind of our version of the Tibetan Astrological Calendar, which is a phenomenal piece of artwork. I'll show you a few historical ones in a second, and then I'll just do a little flyby of the drawing, explaining some stuff. I'm not going to go into full absolute depth. I'll probably save that for another video where I can go into the astrological signs, the meanings, and all different kinds of stuff. But I will show some of the highlights and just talk about Tibet and a few other things relating to this artwork, art in general, the time, everything. Because the Tibetan people are some of the greatest, I believe, throughout history. I just absolutely love everything that Tibet's ever put out there. And they're always in connection with Tartary, too. There's a couple books like Travels Through Tibet and Tartary that you can find on archives.org that tell amazing stories. And the history that they have is far different than what we've been taught and what China lets out. And I remember my mom went to China back in the Olympics, that year of the Olympics, and her guide for the whole week, the first thing that came out of her mouth, she said, was, we will not be talking about Tibet for this entire trip. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. And they just don't. They silenced an entire amazing culture. And they discovered or just had these artworks called fankas and mandalas that were really amazing. And they would find all the pigments within nature, all the dyes. They would stretch the canvas. It would be a process that is just absolutely beautiful. I have a book on it. It's just really amazing. And their visions are phenomenal. And they definitely show that there is, they're one of the things that I can't get out of my head. Whenever anyone is kind of really all about one particular religion, I'm always like, well, how does that factor into what the Buddhists and Tibetans thought? Because they're from the same world and their visions are far different than anyone else's. This is a different kind of drawing that I think I'm going to tackle at one point. I absolutely love this vision. I'll have to dig into what that really all means and make my own version of it, but wow. And this is kind of the calendar that they sell pretty commonly. It's kind of a little bit different. There's different shapes, different people kind of around there. I'm not sure how old or new any of those are, but I love them. And this next one right here, this is one of my favorites too. A lot of different symbols there that I'm not totally sure of. Mantras, different patterns. Looks like kind of like medals from Admiralty or some type of military thing, which is nuts. They clearly didn't really have much of a military there, sadly. That the Chinese just easily were able to take control of the greatest people, and they really, like, all their writings, their ancient writings, just travel into a world that's just so different than ours. And the fact that the Zodiac is such a common thing throughout so many cultures, so many thousands of years, is just truly remarkable. And I mean, where is that in culture now? Do they ever talk about the stars anymore? And how, if we're floating in space, like, chaotically out from this thing, how come our stars haven't changed in thousands of years? Interesting. Well, look at this frog, too. Look at the frog in the bottom right. There's something cool. He's got his foot on the ground, something on the earth, and then he's connected to this kind of being that holds the Zodiac in its arms. And I want you to take a look at that, because remember that frog, because at the end of this, you'll see that the frog is about, the other frog on the other end is about to complete the circuit, and about to touch the land on the other side. So there's a lot of interesting things that I put into this, but each one of these Zodiac signs, has a reference. It all somehow, like, the Zodiac is one of those things that just people have been trying to disprove it or prove it for so long, and it's like neither can be done. So these kind of, on his wand, we kind of tweaked a couple things. Usually as frogs up here, we put gods and goddesses instead. Avalokiteshvara at the very pinnacle, the ultimate jewel of enlightening and awakening, right at the very pinnacle, the top, the crystals behind her, emanating power, the full spectrum of color, just everything, a whole universe beyond what we could ever fathom. The mainstream vision of the cosmos is polluted with thoughts of aliens and all this other nonsense. All these planets, we're going to be on an asteroid belt I saw in 15 years. Or like, yeah, we're going to have a colony on an asteroid belt. We'll be on Mars. We'll be all this stuff. Saturn's moon looks nice. Haha. And all these people fall for it. There's some aliens. Nope. Nothing. The reality can be found in these ancient artworks. They knew so much more than us, regardless of satellite, all that other nonsense. They knew, they had clear skies, they had far more knowledge, they had ancient knowledge, and they just definitely knew something that we have no clue about today, and I hope we get it back. So here's the full kind of loop around here with the nice tree and the frog very much at the end, right about to connect to the land or to the clouds through the water, which carries the current as well. And it's enlightenment all over the place, a lot of little things to look at. I'll let you all kind of check those out: diamonds in the sky, orbs, everything. There is so much to understand about the cosmos, and our understanding of it right now is so backwards and so lost that it's really almost at square one. We need to get back to the ancient realization of this stuff, back when they knew, back when they would get information from other beings, from other parts of the realms that have been hidden to us in our little prison here. We need to break free. We need everyone to break free. If the main culture knew about the mastery of our existence in our true realms, massive size, everyone's perspective would change. People would immediately stop worrying about everything from money to ego to all this other stuff, and they would be humbled on a global level. The miracles that await us, await our understanding and comprehension of our reality, are just waiting. They are so close and yet so far away, but they need us to discover them and embrace them and give everyone in the world a glimpse of what reality should be, a true miracle of perfection. Bless you all. Save Tibet, save America, save Earth.